Okay, so let me ask you a question. Okay, let me open up with this. Hello, this still is off the cuff, but I need to find out your opinion. Okay, I did TikTok last week and I did a live, and this is like part of my office. You know, a picture of my hubby and me and my little angel that my little girl gave me, and my plant and so let me ask you something. I do look different. You can see the little bit of frizz in my hair. You can see the real color. What do you think? Does this feel better to you? I don't know why it feels so much better to me. I think I'm sick of the electronic jazz. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I need to know your opinion. Palazzo West, Island Girl. You're in Palazzo West? I thought you were in Palazzo East. Are you still there? You're still there. I love that apartment. You like it better? Oh, okay. Esther does. Yes. Okay. I feel it feels more up close and personal, right? Or no? Looks good to me. More natural, more real. Thank you. Yes. Okay. I think I'm gonna keep it. It doesn't give me as much of the perfect look as the other thing did, but I think I look okay. Okay, I like it. Okay, yes, okay. It feels real. Thank you. I'm done. That's all. Cuckoo no more. I'm done with the green screen. You can take it and shove it. I'm done. Okay, so I got really close, okay, guys, to not doing this and going down the Fauci road. But not that that's political. That's really not political. Evil is not political. It's just evil. So I'm debating about whether we do that on around the table and but everybody's going to have the same opinion. That's the thing. I don't know. We'll see. Next week. Yeah, Mom Tess. True. Maybe I'll do it next week. I'm sure this is going to run on and on and on. Anyway, let me do a couple things here. Very hard, to break away. And actually, because I was in the middle of, I'm working, here's our book, The Unchained Soul, Breaking Free from Performance-Driven Faith, Free from Striving, Freedom from Pressure, Freedom to Live. And here's the thing. I'm working with the formatter, and we're going back and forth, and I'm not rewriting it, but I'm fixing some things, and I'm like, oh, I could have done a whole chapter on this. I could have done a whole chapter. So I got to stop somewhere. So I'm figuring the Unchained Soul Part 2, maybe. I don't know. But if you're interested, and this is the dates, guys. So put them down. And Karen, listen, so you'll have this. And Renee's still on vacation. So I'm looking forward to Renee coming back. We miss her. Anyway, Monday, August 24th. Okay. I'm sending out everyone that signed up for the first chapter. Now, to sign up, go to thegatheringmovement.org, thegatheringmovement.org, and up on top it says Unchained book or Unchained sign up. I forget what I put. And just give me your name and email address. And on Monday, August 24th, you will get the first chapter. So that's how it's going to work. Now, after that, what we're going to do is it's the next Monday, which is August 31st at 7 p.m. We're doing a Zoom webinar, and we're going to break the book down, break down a lot of this stuff we're talking about. It's kind of like a Bible study / revelation / what the book's about, like in an hour. Okay. And the only people that are going to be invited to that are those that got the first chapter the week before. And you do that by going to thegatheringmovement.org, sign up, Unchained Soul, sign up, and then you'll get the chapter. Then we can discuss it. You guys can ask questions, so on and so forth. Okay. Then whoever buys the book, it's coming out in September, probably second week. We're going to have another webinar, and we're really going to discuss the book. It's going to be like, down and dirty. And so it's going to be really, really powerful. The second thing is tomorrow I'm doing another live on TikTok. That's where this happened. I did this on TikTok, and I'm like, I like this. I think I'm going to do it. So probably Solomon's Porch is the only one I won't. I don't, maybe I will, I don't know, but probably not. So tiktok.com / Delora OBrien. I put some clothes, a couple dresses up. And if you go there, you go to the pocketbook, you see a little pocketbook under the my bio, and you'll see some clothes and stuff there. So I'm giving it a shot. Maybe this will make up a little bit for Join Country, maybe not. You don't make much, but I guess it's worth a shot. We'll see. We'll see what happens, and see if that works. We are in the middle, for those of you that are asking about Jenna. She is, she's doing well. We're still in process, of moving in this whole thing. She's doing integrative medicine, and so one side and then the other side, and it's over the next few weeks and maybe the next month, it's going to be a little hard with what's happening. So please keep her in prayer. Keep all of us in prayer. Actually, we're kind of not doing. If I miss a couple of these, please bear with me. We're really her support system here. I mean, of course, along with Richie, he's an amazing support system, but that's who she's got. You know what I mean? So just bear with us on that. But anyway, tomorrow, TikTok live, go there and join me. It's a lot of fun. Next week, I think I'm going to make eggplant parm. I was supposed to do it this week, and I didn't have the time because of Jenna stuff. So next week, I think I'm going to make eggplant parm the way my mom used to make it. Oh, delish. And I'm going to put up in the cell thing, the olive oil, the things that, the grinder, the mill, a few different mills you can buy, the wheat berries you can buy, and make it yourself. Anyway, so that's that. Okay, so thank you, Mom Taz. I know, look at, you guys, you said you take care of your family first. We all understand, and I know you do. I know you do. There's no one better than the group of people that are on here. No one better. Yeah. Mom, Taz, she's going to make me join TikTok. TikTok's awesome. I mean, there's a reason that President Trump and whoever else did it, saved it. I mean, I like it. I didn't like it at the beginning, but I really like it. It's just, I don't know. It's fun. It's just fun. And I get a little bratty over there. So all my brat that I have here really is on steroids over there. And Esther keeps me in line. No. PG. Anyway, it does take time to get used to Esther. It took me time. And I'm dealing with it. I didn't know, yeah. Okay. So let's do this. Okay. It's a bit long. I'm going to try to hurry it up. Okay. So it's not as long, but let me tell you why I did this. Here, Chernobyl, Hiroshima, all these are Hiroshima, however you want to pronounce it. But, nuclear annihilation, the president's got the nuclear football, nuclear war, nuclear threat, nuclear this, nuclear that. I started asking the question if that's true. Why, if it's true, why is Hiroshima a thriving city? Why did people return within 2 weeks? Why are people living in Chernobyl and around Chernobyl? And why did the World Health Organization, mind you, WHO, eventually say that for most residents in Chernobyl, the greatest public health problem wasn't radiation, but mental health due to fear? Now, look, I'm not saying that nuclear weapons aren't dangerous. Let me put a little thing. Nuclear weapons, I gotta be completely candid. I don't really know if there's actually a thing as nuclear weapons. Is there? See, let me just say this. Knowing the evil, my mind, okay? So here's where I go. Knowing the evil that's in the world, knowing what they did with this thing and the whole Fauci thing that's happening now and all that stuff, everything for, 9/11, I mean, on and on and on and on and on. If we had a nuclear, yes, I will, Esther, thank you. If we had a nuclear bomb, don't you think someone would have used it? My goodness, I do. So have they really split the atom and turned it into a, maybe they have. I don't know. It just doesn't seem, Magnolia, we have nuclear medicine is completely different. It's completely different. If you read about it, I went down that road. If you read about nuclear medicine, you'll see it's completely different. The word nuclear goes a lot of ways, like even a nuclear power plant. You know what I'm saying? It's all different. Although they say the same thing, it's used in very different ways. So if radiation and nuclear events are completely catastrophic, like everyone says they are, and permanently contaminating, look, in our culture, you hear nuclear war, everybody's like, oh no, the apocalypse. And that's not true. It's not true. There are real world outcomes that if it is real and if it was dropped, that, for example, how much of the nuclear fear is science versus decades of psychological conditioning? How much? As Donna Russell says, the astronauts stored it on the moon in 1969. There's the answer. There's the answer. You guys don't know Donna. She's a riot. Yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened, Donna. They stored it on the moon along with a telephone that had no interference, millions and millions of miles. Oh man, I'll tell you. Oh, okay. So could it be decades of psychological conditioning? That's a legitimate question. Don't you think? Don't you think? I just went digging because I wanted to find out, why is Chernobyl and Hiroshima open for business? Why? See, Chernobyl is where it really gets interesting, because the WHO itself says that apart from the workers, I'm reading this now right from what they said, apart from the workers who received enormous radiation doses initially, researchers have not clearly demonstrated an increase in cancers or leukemia attributable to radiation in the broader exposed populations. What? Did you know that? Who knew that about Chernobyl? I see pictures of Chernobyl. It's a vast wasteland. Look at some up-to-date ones. Okay, I didn't understand. I didn't expect the WHO. There's a WHO Chernobyl forum, and the assessment concluded that for most people living in contaminated territories, whole body doses were relatively very low. You can get more from an X-ray. That's the WHO. It's also said that later relocations did little to reduce radiation exposure. And the people who stayed or returned had actually, those that returned to their homes coped better psychologically, so had less diseases than those that relocated. Is that wild? Is that wild? But this is the sentence that jumped off the page at me when I read it. Listen to this. The WHO reported that the mental health consequences were the largest public health problem created by the accident, including anxiety, fatalism, and an exaggerated perception of the radiation danger when there was none. The WHO said most residents need not live in fear of any serious health consequences. Then there's Hiroshima. Now, Hiroshima is different than Chernobyl. Granted, it really is. And I'll tell you why. I don't know if you guys realize this, but the bomb exploded in the air. It never hit the ground. It didn't. The bombs that they dropped, whether it was nuclear, which I'm debating and I don't really know anymore. I really question it. Whatever. I mean, there were bombs. Whatever bombs happened were detonated in the air. Okay. Hiroshima and Nagasaki are examples of minimal local fallout. The radioactive material pretty much remained in the cloud rather than sucking like huge quantities of soil up into it and then irradiating it and then dropping it every place. It wasn't like that. That's why Hiroshima was said would be radioactive for thousands of years if something like that happens. Is it? No. It's a thriving city. We hear nuclear bomb, radiation, land contamination, uninhabitable. That's not what happens. So how much of our nuclear fear is actually true? Because there's three different things we've mentally blended together. The blast itself, absolutely catastrophic, across the country to everybody. Isn't that what was put in our brain? Am I the only one? Initial radiation, potentially lethal, depending upon distance and dose. Then fallout and long-term contamination. Now, that's how it detonates, where it detonates. Are you close to it? There's so many variables. But see, nuclear bomb equals everybody dies, the land's poisoned forever, and that is just not accurate. It's not accurate scientifically, and it's not accurate culturally. So then there's my favorite word that we all know and love, fear. Boy, I was in a chapter today in the book that I was talking about fear, and I was like high-fiving myself. Yeah, you go, Delora. That's right. Anyway, there's fear. So for roughly 8 decades, nuclear annihilation has occupied a huge part of our society and our culture. News organizations announced the threat, nuclear threat. Russia threatens nuclear escalation. North Korea tests weapons. Don't you think that madman would have dropped it if he had it, if it was real? Come on. I don't know. It's like, oh, they're evil and then they're not. I'm going over this again. The more I read this stuff, I'm like, this is a bunch of garbage. Children, do you remember we did duck and cover drills? Did you guys do duck and cover drills? I used to get under my desk at school. Duck and cover. Because of that. The person across the street from us, they built a house, okay? And then all the way down the street, where there was a house across the street from us, and then our driveway was over here. And that whole street was built by a developer during this time, and they had fallout shelters. Can you imagine? Fallout shelters. That was the big deal then. And I remember my friend across the street they had all kinds of food in there and all kinds of stuff. Now, we don't do that anymore. We still have a lot of food and everything hanging around, and that's okay. In the world we're living in, I think it's rather wise, but not like they had. You know, movies show civilization ending. Sadly, I do watch them. I love the big stuff, okay? But I know what I'm watching, you know? Politicians talk about, you know, oh, so-and-so's got their finger on the button. What button? What button? Freaking button. Are you kidding me? This is like, I don't buy it. I don't buy it no more. After looking at pictures of Chernobyl, looking at Hiroshima, looking at Nagasaki, I'm like, what button? What button you talk about? Man, we pull this. See, we pulled 2020 away from them. Hey, by the way, after my lettuce last week thing, did you see now they're doubling down? People must be doing it all over the place. They're doubling down. They're still blaming Taylor Farms. Unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable. Even though FDA pulled all their things that said it was a false positive. There is true, Esther, deception on both sides. West Virginia Mountain Mama, absolutely. Fear makes money. Deborah 33, you had a bomb shelter. Very interesting. Yeah. Okay, so let me go through this. How much? Let me go. You know what? I'm going to wait on that. I'm going to wait on that. Let me look at this. Let me look at this for a second. Okay, I want to talk about this. The doomsday clock. Do you realize that we have a doomsday clock? You look it up. It is shocking. What does it say? Nuclear weapons are extremely dangerous, and if someone drops one, we're gone. Oh, they moved on to eggs today, and I saw bacon. Eggs, yeah, they went to eggs over the weekend. Yep, millions of eggs. Yeah. At any moment, one of these days, somebody could push a button and everything disappears. That's what they want you to believe. That's what they want you to believe. Those are psychological operations that get you to live in fear. You know, this is what I always talk to you. It's to get rid of your fear. There is such an important distinction here between reality and psychological operation. It's amazing. And not a lot of people cover it. And I don't understand why. Governments, governments don't even really have to have a nuclear bomb in order to use a nuclear weapon for fear. You don't have to have anything. Nothing. And you can create fear out of anything. A genuine threat is an instrument of power. You understand? It's an instrument of more military spending. It's the lobbyists from Boeing and all the rest of those big companies that make these things. You see, the lobbyists go in and press all the Congress people, vote for the act to get more bombs, more this, more that, vote for it. And they get paid $500,000 to lobby that company. And then the congressman gets all kinds of perks and he guarantees himself to win again. And then the beat goes on. Isn't that something? Military spending, political messaging, public fear. Then you wonder why I say two heads of the same snake. You wonder why I do that all the time, because it is. Now, there are some people I like that are in political parties, but it's two heads of the same snake. And what's interesting is the ones that are really bringing truth are being thrown out. It's incredible. So how do we do this? Let me give you this a little understanding here. Suppose you're 30 miles away from a nuclear detonation. What actually happens? What actually happens at 50 miles, 100 miles? How quickly does radiation, fallout, decay? Now, radiation's real. Okay, it really is real. How much protection does just being inside maybe a concrete building or a metal building, does that protect you? How long would you actually need to shelter for? When could you emerge? Now, those answers change dramatically if we're going to talk about this conversation in an emotional way. Okay? Because if we're going to talk emotionally, then we're afraid of everything. But if we're going to talk in reality, then we have to realize that radiation isn't like a supernatural poison that gets you and remains there forever, and it's always lethal. Dose matters. It depends on dose, duration, and route of exposure. And fallout radiation declines dramatically with time and quickly. But what about what you hear? Do you ever hear of the term nuclear winter? You can look that up. You get even a better understanding than this. See, it isn't that bombs don't devastate. Take a look at Iran. Bombs devastate. We're talking about a weapon that has been programmed into us to believe that it's been for 8 decades now. It's been 8 decades, 80 years that nuclear war has been used as a threat and fear, put us in fear, always. It's just, and they're all in on it because everybody makes money, everybody keeps power. You know, I've come to the point, and I know this is going to, and Dennis, and this is a little aside, okay, this is free, that people that run for like major offices like president, a prime minister, and they don't run for royalty, but the royalty and all that stuff, they're a different breed. Okay, so don't think it would be suddenly like me or my husband, we become president. That's not it. I would never run and I would never win. The thing is you're a certain type, and forgive me if don't get mad at me, but most of them are narcissists. They really believe they're right. They know they're the best. And if they don't say that, they say it behind closed doors and not as forthright and honest. And then they're even more of a politician, like Obama. You know what I'm saying? So they're these people that are in these higher places, no matter who they are, have a different understanding of life. They don't sit in my seat with my picture, my plant, and my little angel, okay? They don't sit in my office where I rub hands with people all day long from all over the world and minister to them and pray with them. And my whole life is giving. My whole life has been that since I got saved. So these people that are in these positions, many of them got there and are there because they love the power, they love the money, they love the ability to do things, and they would say things like that. There are people we like that are playing along with this, or we wouldn't be here. Someone would open it wide open. And I believe some of the people that are absolutely have been driven out of Congress or are there and are sidelined totally. They'll never become anything. They will never head up a committee. They'll never, and their office is going to remain in the basement. You can't have it both ways. Hey, honey, how are you? It's my niece, Felicia. Okay, so let's talk about nuclear winter. If there is a nuclear weapon, okay, it could be devastating. I'm not arguing that. If, that's a big, huge if. Big, huge if. Okay, everything I'm seeing is pointing to the fact that we might have been hoodwinked 100%. Say there is, though. Okay, just say there is. Yes, people that love to control and gaslight. That's really, it's true. And even in the church, those big, the big names and all the big, they live. Trust me, the way they are in backstage is not the way they are in front. Not. Different people. Can't go down that road. Okay, Delora, be good. Don't turn into a brat. Okay, thank you, Lord. I won't. Okay, radiation, even if it actually is real, radiation doesn't remain forever. Okay, it leaves, it goes. Even in Chernobyl, and it was a completely different kind of nuclear event. Didn't produce this universal catastrophic, radiation for 1 million years, a half-life of 10,000 years. It is not that. It's not. If a lot of us that are questioning it are wrong and there really are nuclear weapons, it's not what you think it is. We're picturing the cities burning, fires everywhere, blocking sunlight, temperatures plunge, crop fails, culture collapses. Isn't that what we've been told? And eventually billions of people die from starvation. That's nuclear winter. But I want to be careful here. I don't want to tell you nuclear winter is fake if nuclear weapons are real. See, is it or not? I would have come on here and said they're completely fake because I have a ton of proof that they're not real. But I do have a little bit also that says they actually are real. Now, do we have any really? Does North Korea, does Russia? I don't know. I would think, look, there's not many people that I trust as world leaders anymore. You would think that the evil that is going on in this world, that they would have used it already. Am I wrong? I honestly, if you think that I'm wrong, tell me. Put it in the chat. I'd like to know, with the evil that we're told, remember, told, wouldn't you think it would have happened already? So is it real or synergy? Yes, they'd have used it. See, that's what I think. I think they would have. I think so too, synergy. I think they would have used it. You know, to me, this is a threat. A threat. Oh, they're going to use nuclear weapons. Nuclear this, nuclear that. I don't know. I think my premise that I always say now, which is my kingdom is not of this world, and that's where I live, is probably the best thing even here. This is why I had a shift about almost a year ago, and I got off the political train, because that political train goes in one direction, two heads of the same snake. So now I'm doing things like this to help people get off the fear train. This is a big fear tactic. Let's get off the train, okay? In 2025, the National Academy of Sciences released a major congressionally mandated examination of the environmental effects of nuclear war. Do you know what they found? This is the NAS, okay, forced Congress. Congress forced a segment of Congress forced the National Academies of Science to do an examination of the environmental effects of nuclear war. Do you know what they found? Huge data gaps, major uncertainties on all of the assumptions that people are saying that predict nuclear winter. They don't know. So the outcome was they don't know. So the National Academies of Sciences went back to Congress and said, we don't know. We don't know what will happen. But we're going to say it anyway because it works for us. The entire political chain gets you from nuclear explosion to global nuclear winter like that. Like that. That's what they do. Complete annihilation. You see it. You see it all over Hollywood films. Barren land, little piece of a building sticking up. Reminds me of 9/11. So let me read. The National Academy said these uncertainties still limit scientists' ability to model the effects accurately. So culturally, we've been told the only possible outcome is this. 4 aspects to it. Bombs drop, sky goes dark, crops die, civilization ends. We've been conditioned to think nuclear means the end. Nuclear, the end. It's a synonym. Nuclear, the end. I'm beginning to wonder whether the psychological effect of nuclear weapons has become almost as important. No, let me rephrase it. More important than the geopolitical of the weapons themselves. Think about the language. Nuclear annihilation, doomsday, mutual destruction, Armageddon, nuclear button, nuclear football. Oh my God. The president drives around with a nuclear football. I can't even. I'm telling you, I'm done with the garbage. I'm done with it. Are you kidding me? I just, it's such, you know, you play the violin. My father used to do that. Even if you don't know anything about nuclear physics, you know what you're supposed to feel when you hear the words fear, not concern, not caution, not respect for a dangerous weapon that might not even exist. The messaging they want to get to you is be afraid because you're totally out of control and there's nothing you can do. Zero. There goes you. There goes your family. There goes your grandkids. There goes everybody you love. There goes your town. Somebody thousands of miles away could push a button and your life is over. Boom, done. You can't prepare. You can't escape. You can't survive. Just the hope. The people carry the football, know what they're doing. You see, just you got to hope that the president knows what he's doing. Could millions of people die in a nuclear war? Maybe. Maybe not. Could infrastructure collapse? Maybe. Maybe not. Could radiation kill people? Maybe. Maybe not. Could there be enormous environmental consequences and nothing to eat? Maybe. Maybe not. So does it mean a nuclear exchange with another nuclear power automatically causes the extinction of humanity? Big N. How can I be an N? Oh, no. And once you understand all of this happens because of fear. And when you hear me and you go back and listen again and you know the truth, fear diminishes. The monster under the bed gets real little. See, Chernobyl taught us something that not many are talking about. The WHO's assessment of Chernobyl says it all. The WHO said it. No major detriment there. It was the psychological and social and fear and the mental health issues that is causing anything that came out of that. That's who's saying it. World Health Organization. The WHO said, describing Chernobyl, it's the largest public health problem created in the world. Chernobyl. Mental health. Not getting blisters all over their arms. Do you know the cancer rate in Chernobyl, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, is as the same or less than other places in the same area? See, people generally believe that with a nuclear bomb, everything would be permanently damaged. They expected it. You understand? The people in Chernobyl expected it. They were programmed to expect it, and they were programmed to feel totally helpless. There's that word, helpless. If fear is the greatest word being used to perpetrate on all of us today, the other word is helpless. If governments can get you to feel helpless, they got you. They got you. And the WHO also reported an exaggerated sense of radiation danger. among those in Chernobyl, Hiroshima, and Nagasaki. So, fear doesn't have to kill you to control you. Just think about this. If I convince you that something terrible might happen, you're concerned. But when I then over and over and over and over and over and over and over for 8 decades make you believe that not only is that fear real, but if it does happen, there's absolutely nothing you can do about it, then I've created something completely different. That's different. Not only did I do fear, but now I brought you into helplessness. And helpless people behave differently. What did they do? Remember 2020? Let me tell you the worst thing that happened in 2020. People surrendered their autonomy. They surrendered decisions. They accepted something that they ordinarily would question. That was the greatest thing that happened then. I don't think for the most part of people, especially with what's happening now with Fauci, I don't think that'll ever happen again. Will there be something new? Absolutely. And I'm going to go on here and expose it. Because I'll tell you something. Once that's out of the way, watch over the next few months how all of a sudden we're talking about nuclear war, oh, looks like they're going to get it. We found Iran. Iran's got the nuclear stuff. They've got everything they need. This country's got it too. They're in cahoots with Russia. Now this is, look, drives me crazy. Fear is useful, not to us. You know who it's useful to? It's useful politically. Oh, useful. So useful politically. Useful militarily. Very useful militarily. Useful diplomatically. I am going to bring peace. I don't want you to have a nuclear war. I'm saving you. 2 leaders get together. They already decided what they're going to say. They bring peace. Yep, there it is. Now they're bringing peace. They both get elected again. They brought peace. And then one wins the Nobel Peace Prize and never did anything. It is all a garbage. Even our own government, and yes, even now, is creating stuff along with other governments. You see, here's what they're trying never to happen. If Democrats and Republicans and any libertarians, whatever, come together and they get smart and they realize they're trying to divide us and keep us in those 2 compartments. If they get smart and this becomes unity, becomes the thing, then it's not Democrat versus Republican. It's the people versus the power. You understand? If the people ever get it together and do this, it's over. It's over. Most people don't realize that. They want their political party. Saul, give us Saul. It hasn't changed in thousands of years. People need to wake up. That's why I'm not going to get 1 million views on this. I should get 1 million views on this. They're not ready. They're not ready to hear this. They want what they want. Their brain is it's so programmed. Their brain and their psyche is so programmed. They cannot even see their way out of it. The cognitive dissonance is unbelievable. Look, nuclear threat, sure, it might be real, might not. But either way, the fear surrounding it can't not be, we can't allow the fear to get us. So maybe the question isn't, is it dangerous? Maybe the question is my level of fear proportional to the actual danger, which may not even exist at all? Completely different. But here's something that Christianity should have taught us a long time ago. Fear magnifies things. Take something real, puts a magnifying glass on it, false evidence appearing real. And it magnifies it out of proportion. The fear then becomes larger than the thing we're afraid of. It's the fear of that thing. 2 Timothy 1:7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and a sound mind. Notice what fear is contrasted with. Fear, sound mind. The Greek word there means self-control, sound judgment, sound understanding. In other words, think clearly. And that's what we're doing today. We're not pretending evil doesn't exist. We're not pretending dangerous weapons don't exist. We're refusing to allow fear to do our thinking for us. What about Matthew 24:6? Jesus says you'll hear of wars, rumors of wars. See that you are not troubled. I find it so interesting, really interesting. This is Jesus saying this. Wars. What if wars is in font 12 and rumors of wars is in font 100? See, I really believe that most of the wars that we see happening are rumors of wars. That is a real scripture. How come people are not talking about that today? Wars and rumors of wars. See that you're not troubled. See? Don't be troubled, even if it's a rumor of war. A rumor of war? Should a rumor of war trouble you? No, but it does. That's why Jesus said that. I've read that scripture 1,000 times, but never thought of it in the context. Jesus doesn't say, hey, there won't be wars. Quite the opposite. He says you're going to hear about them, and there might be wars, and there might be rumors of wars. But don't let hearing about either one rule you. That's incredibly relevant to the world we're living in today. Every notification, every headline, every politician, every threat, every missile test, every breaking news banner, wars and rumors of wars. Remember, you hear, oh, it's happening over here, rumors of wars. Remember that scripture, Matthew 24:6. Jesus' response wasn't, panic. Panic when you hear that. Run for the hills. Get on high ground. Get your water together. Get your little chicks under your arms. It was see that you are not troubled. And maybe that's the real story. Maybe that's what we should be talking about. It always comes back to fear, doesn't it? In this time, it's fear and helplessness. Because look what happened around Chernobyl. Was it a disaster? Sure. Were there victims? Sure. Was there radiation effects? I guess. Years later, International Health Authority says there's not even a public health problem there. Not at all. People are flourishing. How can that be? That's incredible and outrageous all at the same time. Makes me wonder how many other things that happens with. What about with disease? Lettuce, eggs. Let's do eggs now. You know, people say, oh, what do you think? People go in a back room and decide to do this? Yeah. Yeah. Disease, war, economic collapse, climate. Now, here's the problem, okay? There's another issue. Many conservatives, I'm a conservative, okay? It's a long story about that, but I am a conservative, although I don't agree with all of the platforms of the conservative I don't agree with everything. I'm more people oriented. I care more about people. But here's the thing. When you are divided and you are embracing a side, you have actually taken whatever it is you're talking about and blown it up to the point where people become so irrational. And I want to tell you something else that's going on. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm this is my ADHD kicking in, but I got to say it. Most, not some, most of the comments you see on posts that they're trying to divide people on are bought. They're bought. Real page, real, platform, but they're bought. They're not real. They're not real. And I'll tell you how you can tell. Comment back to some of the people. They never comment back to you. They don't, because they're only there. They're being paid to put out certain things. So let me I digress. Let me go back. Nuclear threat. I'm not going to laugh at it. I'm really not. I'm not going to do that. But I don't know if they exist. I'm still looking. I don't really prescribe to everybody's like nuclear weapons. I know they don't exist. Maybe you're right. And am I leaning in that direction? Yeah. But I have not been 100% convinced. And let me go back to flat Earth. Okay. Now I know this is going to dig up all kinds of stuff, but I don't know. I've not been proven that the Earth is a globe. That's not been proven to me, but I've not been proven that the Earth is flat either. I don't know. I don't know. See, I don't take myself that seriously. I don't believe everything that I think is true. Now, if you're talking about that, you take a Nikon 1000 or 2000, I forget, camera, and you'll see it flat for 100 miles. And airline pilots say it's flat. Now, that said, okay, I can understand. I'm considering that. That is probably absolutely true. If you have Flat Earth Dave on, I'd say I don't know, and he goes, no, you believe it, you just don't want to say it. No, I don't. No, I really don't know. I don't know how anyone can. I don't. You can move toward that direction, but you've got to be, yes, West Virginia Mountain Mama, healthy skepticism on both sides. Both sides. So let's get rid of it's late, we're all going to die scenario, okay? And when they say nuclear, ask what weapon, where is it, why, who's saying it, how far away, what kind of fallout, what dose. Nuclear winter, is it inevitable? They don't even know if it's real. So what are we assuming? Nuclear weapons are real. I lean toward, I'm not so sure they are. And why do I believe that? Many, 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 many reasons. I could actually do this next week and tell you why I don't believe they're real. Maybe I will. Or I'll do the Fauci thing. I'm not sure. But the biggest thing is because I know humanism. I know the human species. I know the psyche of those that are in control. I don't care who they are. I know that psyche. So they would have already been used. Sorry. I believe 1,000,000%. I believe that. We just don't know. But let me say this. There are facts, and I'm going to close in a second. There are facts for there's different kilotons. I could go into this. I don't want to go into all this. I got all kinds of facts in front of me. How far down it went 10 miles, 20 miles downwind. You have 10 minutes to get out. You have 24 minutes to get out. I don't know. I don't even want to go into it. It's fear, fear, fear. Psalm 112:7. He shall not be afraid of evil tidings. His heart is fixed, trusting in the Lord. Evil, bad report, frightening news, threats, headlines. The Bible never promises we won't hear them. It tells us how we're supposed to respond to them. Psalm 46 says something so appropriate for this show. Therefore will not we fear, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea. Earthquakes, that sounds like to me. A little more like earthquake. Doesn't sound like nuclear war to me. But they, that things are going to happen and things are real when you read Psalm 46. Everything's shaking, everything changing. But God says, fear not. Don't be afraid. And not because nothing bad can happen. I'm not gonna now blow smoke and they say, oh, we're good, nothing's gonna happen. I'm not going to and read you a list of things God told me that never happened and just to keep you hanging on every day, watching. I'm not going to do that. Fear should never become our master. Fear distorts reality. It makes possibilities out of unlikely certainties. Fear makes survivable events that we will survive look like there is no hope, and it completely makes you helpless. Fear can convince you that an entire generation that tomorrow has already been taken away from them completely. Wait till 2027 hits. Okay, so let me just say this, okay? Kim Clement, I was sitting in the front row, not more than 5 feet away from him, when he got brought to 2027. And he was speaking, and he said, where will I be? Okay? I think it was 2014. And at that moment, he started crying, and he was holding it back. I mean, it was a very, very, very intense moment. I'll never forget it my entire life. Once 2027, mark my words, guys, mark my words, we got 5 months. That clicks, you're going to hear every pop-up. Oh, 20, the ones that are into fear. The other ones are going to be the other way. I don't know. I can't even think about it. My head hurts. Say, oh, now 2027, remember? Remember what Kim said? Oh, 2027, that's it. It's going to end. The end is coming near. No, that's not what he meant. He said, where will I be? I was right there. He didn't say, where will we all be? What will we be in 2027? I don't know. My feeling is maybe the Holy Spirit showed him a stone or a picture of his family. He's not there or something like that. I don't know. He never said it. But do not think 2027 is the end. In fact, let me prophesy something to you. 2027 is not the end. And January 1st, 2028, I'll come on. Okay? I'm going to come on. January 21st, 2028, January 1st, New Year's Day. I'm going to come on and go, hey, we survived 2027. We survived. What are they calling it now? I don't even want to go down that road. All these things that are going to happen and death and all this stuff. This is not God. Okay? If he didn't tell Jesus that there would be that kind of major event, and Paul didn't talk about it, and Jesus didn't talk about it in the Bible, you think that kind of major event? I can't. I don't even know what to say. Okay, I'm not going to give this any more time. I'm not going to give it any more power. Maybe the greatest freedom on the face of the earth is discovering that there's nothing dangerous in this world that God cannot overcome. Maybe it's discovering I don't have to be afraid of any of that. Okay? The only thing to me people need to be afraid of is the fear of the Lord. People that do this stuff, man, and say these things, they need a healthy dose of the fear of the Lord. That's what they need. Because, man, I'm afraid to say anything. That's why I don't say what I hear. I got to make sure 100%. Anyway, that's the day. I'm not going to take any questions because it's already 1:05. Let me just do this, okay? I think it's important. I really, really do. This book is, let me show you a different view. Hold on. Let me get a different view. Let's do this. No, where is it? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Oh, here we go. Okay. Okay, so here it is. The Unchained Soul. Now, please go to thegatheringmovement.org, okay? And up on top it says Unchained, sign up. Go there, sign up, please, please, please. And make sure you do that, okay? Because what's going to happen is you're going to get, that's going to come to me, and then you're going to go on a list, and on, what did I say? I can't remember. You've got it. Thank you, Karen. August 24th, Monday, August 24th, I'm going to mail you the first chapter, okay? And then on August 31st, that following Monday, we're going to do a Zoom webinar, okay? That we're going to talk about the first chapter and about other things. And then in the middle of probably second week of September, the book's going to drop, okay? That's that. Now, let me get rid of that. Let me do that. Okay. So there's that. Now, tomorrow at noon Eastern, TikTok. Last week was really fun. You liked it, Debbie? It is fun. It is fun. I really enjoy it. I don't know why. I feel like it's more intimate. Like I can really be myself. I don't know. I really like it. Anyway, go to just follow me and go to TikTok.com / Delora OBrien. No, not lasagna tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm talking about some of the clothes I'm going to do, Esther. And next week is eggplant parm. Okay, I was too busy today with a meeting I have tonight, things I got to do with Jenna today. I got to bring her somewhere. And I can't do it. So I wanted a finished eggplant. And I was going to make it today to have it tomorrow so you could see what it looks like as I'm making it. And I'll give you the end product, but it didn't happen. So tomorrow's going to be just talking about things. I'm going to show you a few clothes, things. It's going to be fun. So just follow me and jump on tomorrow 12 noon. It's a lot easier than you think. And then Friday around the table, I'm debating about Fauci. I don't know. I don't want to turn into like a bashing political thing. But maybe Fauci needs that. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, all right. Love you guys. Thank you for commenting on I think I'm going to keep. I'm going to do that. So this is what's going to happen, West Virginia Mountain Mama. Since you said that, and it's late, but I'm going to keep going. Here's the deal. I'm doing the couple clothes, and then I'm going to put more up, and so you'll know where to look at them, okay? Incredible prices, like incredible. And then next week, I'm going to do eggplant parm, and I'm going to put everything up, the really good olive oil with highly polyphenols and all the stuff, where you can get the grinder. There's several different ones to grind berries. You can get the berries there. So that's all will be next week. And then the following week, and again, all of this depends on the situation with my daughter. Okay. So if suddenly, Debbie said, we get to see the sassy Delora. You do. And you know what I think it is, Deb? You know what I think it is? There's not a replay. So it's like, you don't get it then, you ain't getting it. My word against yours. Oh, it's funny. Anyway, so the following week, eggplant, maybe the following week, makeup for Island Girl. I'm gonna go over all my makeup and put it on and stuff, and I'll show you guys. But again, you got to bear with me. I'm definitely doing tomorrow. I got to clear for tomorrow, but there's so much stuff going on because of all of this. If I don't do a show or I don't do a TikTok on Thursday at noon, that's why. Okay. All right, guys, this was a long one. Hope it's okay. Please, please, please fight the fear. Fight the fear. Okay. I think I'm going to put that in my new bio, my biography. Fight the fear. All right. It's so important. It's so important. Love you all. Bless you all. And until tomorrow at noon on TikTok, go in the power of God. Love you dearly. Bye.